So apparently, Amazon can't figure out how to bring our favourite TV show back. They've owned MGM for months now and they still can't figure out what to do with Stargate. So we actually did a live video Sunday and we figured it out. Welcome to Sci-Trek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So on Sunday, we did a video where we pretended Amazon chose not to make the Rings of Power, and instead, we spent $1 billion for them. We figured out a budget for each one, and we spent just over $1 billion. In the end, because I insist on making Spaceballs 2, we actually made... In the end, because I insist on making Spaceballs 2, The Search for Money, we actually spent a little bit over budget, $1.1 billion, but what's $100 million between friends? Now, one of my American friends, young Harris in this case, came up with an amazing idea, and something that I've been thinking about ever since, and I'm going to talk about in this video. But obviously, it wasn't the only Stargate project we thought about. I said I wanted to do a big, grand sci-fi show. Maybe something based aboard a BC-305, you know, a new ship out of space dock sort of thing. I thought that would be pretty wicked. I also suggested that I would love to see a prequel series. Now, if you are a regular Sci-Trekker, you'll know I hate prequels. I think they're rubbish. I think they peel over canon, and every Star Trek prequel makes me want to cry. Even Strange New Worlds that I love, I would much prefer it was just that show, but like set in a different time and not set aboard the Enterprise. There are so many threads of story from SG-1, SG Atlantis, and SG Universe that lead back to the Ancients. We could see stories that lead back to things that we already know happen and give them depth. Now, I argue that I would want $100 million to make this series because I don't want this to be like 7 seasons. I think 10 episodes, you know, they're making a different story each week, that sort of thing. And I would love the final episode to be based around the Destiny. You know, I have this idea about like, you know, some maybe a story happening, but in the background you can see through a window is like the shipyard of them building the Destiny. I think that would be pretty cool. Or them discovering the God radio signal in the first place and then them deciding to build a Destiny, something like that. That'll be cool. But anyway, the story idea, though, that Harris came up with, our young American, was absolutely brilliant. He basically said, I want to see Stargate SGC. See, we've even named it for you, Amazon. For the love of God, are we doing everything here? Let's put a logo together so they really have no excuse.
The United States is not in the business of interfering in other people's affairs.
Since when, sir?
Since this administration was elected.
Oh, by the way, if you do like the content, please consider hitting the join button and becoming a fully fledged Sci-Trekker. You can also go to sci-trek.com and pick marvelous merchandise. All of these little things really help the channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and share the video wherever the hell you want. So the premise and the basis of the show would be around that. It would be around the Stargate Command, which obviously wouldn't be at Cheyenne Mountain anymore. The gate probably would have been moved somewhere more public. I always loved, in SG-1 in particular, the political episodes, you know, the ones where Kinsey came in or Woolsey was involved, and these sorts of things.
What are you talking about?
I have desperately tried to maintain some proper control and accountability, but the oversight in place is completely inadequate. The military, specifically, the personnel directly involved in the SGC need to be replaced immediately. Now, I have several recommendations regarding...
Whoa, Bob, hold on here.
Mr. President, why do you think I was ordered to keep quiet? This was a deliberate attempt by the military and the previous administration to drive a wedge between us because they knew I was going to come after them. We need to stick together on this.
For God's sakes, Bob, think of the magnitude of this.
For God's sake is right.
Oh, come on, Bob.
The President filler episode was one of the best Stargate SG-1 episodes. It's probably one of the best filler episodes actually ever made, because it's not really a filler episode. You know, it had lots of clips from the previous couple of seasons where the President was reading all these documents as reports on his inauguration day.
I've already had my top secret briefing.
Yes, Mr. President, but not this. Mr. President, for the past 7 years, the United States Air Force has been sending teams to other planets by means of an alien device known as the Stargate.
That's funny.
But it was still, you know, actually a really good episode. But I love those sorts of episodes from Stargate. It's one of the reasons why I love Stargate so much, because it did have one foot in reality. And let's be honest, politicians would screw around with this project as much as possible. You know, they would want to get involved, and they would think they knew better than the actual teams going through the gate. The really nice thing about this idea, though, of this Stargate SGC, is that you could have a different story every week. You could go aboard the new BC-305 like I suggested. You could follow different teams. You could have lots and lots of special guest appearances, which would be very cool. Actors that maybe aren't regulars but could come and go. You can have lots and lots of different stories on different worlds. You can see lots of different parts of the universe that was been building up. For example, we could have a couple of Jaffa episodes. We could have episodes where they're negotiating with a Lucian alliance or something like that. You can have it almost like a political thriller at times, but still have the action, the adventure, and the big sci-fi. There are lots of ways you could go with this story. And because you're not having any one overarching story, you do sidestep some of the problems Stargate has. Stargate coming back actually isn't that easy because of how advanced the SGC got in the end. We have loads of starships, we have loads of technology. You know, it would be impossible for the Stargate to now be a secret. So I was always worried that when Stargate comes back, it would be more like Star Trek than Stargate. But this way of doing it really allows you to completely sidestep that mind, because you don't have to focus in on any one story for any length of time. It also would fit in the way I am absolutely certain Amazon want to do this series. One, because I've been told that's what they want to do, but also because it's what every TV show is now. And it would be in the format of 10, maybe 12 episodes, maybe running 2 or 3 different seasons a year. But every season could be SGC, then something, you know, SGC : Jaffa, SGC : BC-305, SGC : something else. So similarly, like how Mandalorian and the Boba Fett, those stories that intertwine with each other and they're almost like chapters out of a book, you could completely do that with Stargate. You could have SGC as the center and the spine of the story, the center of the novel, but have all these different chapters in and around it. So everything links back to command, but you can tell completely different stories every single week. Now, I'm kind of really excited by this idea, and I really, really hope Amazon are listening. I do know a couple of people who are working in and around Amazon, and I'm going to be telling them about this. Not that any of it will get back to the executives that actually make any decisions, though. But I would love to know exactly what you think about this idea, and what ideas do you have for Stargate to return? Please get in the comments and make those messages as long as you damn like. Tell me exactly how you want Stargate to return. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. Also, if you enjoy the content, please remember to hit that join button, because that really helps us out. As always, guys, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.